in the world I live in, obviously in the world of professional employment, and certainly we have seen, over 30 million people have now lost their jobs over the last 4.5, 5 months. What do you believe, Alex? Do you believe that is ongoing? How many of those layoffs or furloughs, really the layoffs, how many of those jobs will be permanently gone going forward? Do you have any insight to that?
Yeah, we definitely look at the employment market with quite a bit of scrutiny right now because, again, there the devil is in the details. I think that part of the massive numbers that you hear touted about in the news are masking the fact that certain individuals are choosing to be unemployed right now, especially through the end of July, because of the additional government benefits that they were receiving through the unemployment payments of the $600 a week extra on top of the regular payments. And so there were clearly companies that would have liked to bring workers back, but they were earning more money because of the additional payments through unemployment. And as a result, they chose to stay home. This has been actually one of the challenges that many business owners have been facing because they would like to ramp up in response to a recovering demand, but they're not able to do so because they simply don't have the people.
Yeah.
Now, in a broader context, I can tell you that we do have a forecast for the unemployment rate. You know that at the beginning of the year, we were at historically low levels, about 3.5% unemployment. That's a really phenomenal number that shows just how strong the job market was going into 2020. And at kind of the peak during that April shutdown period when no one was operating and we saw these initial waves of unemployment claims roll in, we did see some substantially higher numbers. The unemployment rate went into double digits, and it's been coming down since that point. Now, as of the latest reading, if I remember correctly, the unemployment rate right now is about 11.1%. We do think that there continues to be a recovery in that number. And by the second half of 2021, we're back into a much more normalized, let's call it 7 to 8% unemployment range. What that means is that relative to the pre-Black Swan event picture in the job market, you do have about 3 to 5 million people that are in the unemployment ranks that were not there before. But I do want to challenge your audience to understand that this really creates a tremendous opportunity. And especially from an HR perspective, there are really great ways to leverage what's going on in the job market right now, because even if you don't think about businesses expanding their footprint, really growing their human capacity because of the weaker demand that we're seeing right now, there's a great opportunity for some rotational change out to happen, because when you think about the caliber of talent that's available in the unemployed ranks right now relative to what we had in late 2019 or early 2020, that really represents a great opportunity for people to perhaps replace some of the lower performing members of their organizations with some tremendously talented individuals, and by the way, get those people at a discount because the economy warrants that and justifies that right now. So I think despite the fact that the job market picture is a lot more grim today than it was 6 months ago, I do think that there are plenty of opportunities to remain. And I believe that companies should be thinking not only about the very real challenges they're facing right now in terms of cash flow and weaker orders and demand, but really how do they position themselves to take advantage of that next rising trend, which, by the way, as I mentioned, we expect to happen in 2021. You've got to be taking the steps now to be positioned correctly to act in early 21 and then to capitalize on that growth that we see coming over the duration of next year.